Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are reviewing a rock band from Chicago, Illinois named the Symposium and their new record, The Sonic Age, that came out a couple days ago last week. So the first track, April Snow, has a very smooth vocal delivery and chill sound like you're gliding down a road a like a 80s or 90s car racing game basically. And we'll come back to that about games in a second. The guitars in the bridge are very unique, almost like 8-bit sounding, and that's kind of where I land with this album. There's a lot of nods and tips of the hat to video games and their sound effects and kind of video game music, which is awesome. And there's an 80s synth outro with the drums just a blasting, and it's a banger, and I would definitely listen to the song again. So off to a great start. Second song, Blade, has whiny guitar and rich bass guitar, and the vocals are very Strokes reminiscent, I can tell so far when I'm listening to this album. And there, I believe, are guest woman vocals or lady vocals on here. If not, then this dude can hit some really high notes. So props to him, or props to the if there's a guest vocalist. It fits song perfectly, and there's a very retro outro once again. So I'm already catching on to a theme with this album, that there's a lot of work being put in on the outros. Third song, Pick This, has light, floaty verses and nice catchy chorus with funny lyrics and kind of like a splashy riff, and a very sick lo-fi outro with mellowed out sound at the end. So that's the third song with an outro. Guitartha has a kind of sounds very wavy, and the rhythm section just kills it in the song. The techno sounding riffs with the electric guitar are nice, and this one also has an outro with synths, very deep, spacey, like floating through space kind of synth action. So with this album, they decided to have each song, except for maybe one, have these drawn out outros, but it's not boring at all. It's like changing the song completely. So it's basically an indie rock stroke song for a little bit, and then the outro part has just takes on a whole new life, which is a pretty interesting concept for an album. The next song, Lightspeed 2, starts off, like I said, perfect indie rock. The vocals don't try too hard, and it's just right. You can tell with vocals sometimes in some bands that they put too much gumption and angst into it, and they're like, "Ugh," when they don't even need to do that. And this guy just knows what he's doing. Just smooth delivery of vocals. And I would say this song was my favorite so far when I was listening to the album. And the trap beat is pretty slick on this song and fits. The guitar riff kind of sounds like you're taking off, like a jet, sort of. And there's a smaller outro in this one that has beach resort kind of vibes, which is cool, with the samba kind of dun 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 kind of rhythm. So pretty cool. Make It So has a synthy, bouncy start, and the bass guitar shines, and the electric guitar is great on this song. The outro is faster than the regular part of the song, and very video games oriented kind of sound effects so far. So I would bet money that these guys love to play some freaking video games, which is awesome. Next song, Slime, has grungy guitar tones, kind of a garage rock sound, and maybe, possibly, has some lady guest vocals, like I was talking about with I believe, second song. If not, then that's very impressive. The outro is very 80s synthy. I love it. The lyrics for this song is about getting over someone, and honestly, with the outros in this song, they could pull off singing over the outro parts. They could, and just keep the song going until the track stops. But I get why they pull out the vocals and kind of just let the synth outro rock for a minute for each of these songs. because it kind of gives you kind of definitely repeat listen vibes, and very much makes it like a concept album almost, which I'm sure it is a concept album to them, and so far it's pretty great. Multiverse has slower, chimey riffs, and it's basically the chillest, slower paced song of the album, and it has lighter notes and chord progressions that change in the latter half of the song. So I would say Multiverse, pretty good, but doesn't stand out as much as the rest of the songs. The Sonic Age, the outro, or the closer of the album, has a synthy intro, deep bass drums, and pretty funny lyrics about being stuck at a party and just kind of looking at your phone. Pretty relatable lyrics for everyone, I'm sure, at some point in their lives. So the review I would give this is, drum roll please, whoops, a 10 out of 10, and it achieved the No Skips award. Well done. And I'm glad I randomly found these guys. So when I look for albums to review, I look for several things, like the name of the artist, what kind of genre, and most importantly, I think even more important than genre is the cover art. And these guys crushed it with the album cover, because I could see this being on an 80s album, a 90s album, or a 2000s album. Like, it's just timeless. And you don't really see an album art like this before. I don't think I've seen like a 3D scale car driving and then the speed gauge behind it. I don't think I've ever seen that before as an idea. So for album art, so very interesting, and that's why I even looked these guys up. So let me know if you guys have checked out this album, and let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys later.